Have you ever looked at your plate and felt proud, more vegetables, more clean, eating fewer bad foods, and yet something still feels wrong? You wake up tired for no clear reason, your ankles feel swollen by the end of the day, and your energy just never fully comes back no matter how healthy you think you're eating. Now here's the uncomfortable question. Most people never ask themselves, what if the very foods you trust to keep you healthy are quietly damaging your kidneys right now? Without pain, without warning, without giving you a second chance, because this is the part that should stop you in your tracks. Your kidneys can lose up to 90% of their function before you feel a single clear symptom. They don't scream when they're in trouble. They don't warn you like your heart or your lungs. They stay silent, filtering your blood day and night until one day they simply can't keep up anymore. And by then, the damage is often severe, sometimes irreversible. And here's what makes this even more urgent. Millions of people in the United States are unknowingly speeding up kidney damage every single day, not with fast food or soda, but with vegetables. Foods labeled as superfoods, blended into smoothies, poured into sauces, and praised as heart-healthy may actually be overloading the kidneys with potassium, oxalates, and concentrated minerals they can no longer handle. I'm Dr. Johnny, and in this video, I'm going to show you something most doctors never explain clearly. Which vegetables can silently push your kidneys toward failure, and which ones can actually protect, support, and even help preserve kidney function when eaten the right way. By the end, you'll know exactly how to look at your plate and tell whether it's helping your kidneys or quietly hurting them. So before you take another bite of that salad or sip another green smoothie, stay with me. What you're about to learn could change how you eat, how you age, and very possibly whether your kidneys stay strong for years to come. Let's start with something that feels harmless, familiar, and sits in almost every American kitchen: concentrated tomato products, tomato sauce, tomato paste, ketchup, even healthy jarred marinara. The danger is not the tomato itself. Fresh tomato slices on a salad are usually fine. The real problem begins when we concentrate them. When water is removed and flavor is intensified, potassium doesn't disappear, it multiplies. And for stressed kidneys, that concentration quietly becomes a load they may not be able to carry. I want to tell you about Robert, a 59-year-old retiree who truly believed he was eating clean. Every Sunday night, he cooked homemade pasta sauce from scratch. No preservatives, no junk, just tomato paste, olive oil, and herbs. He felt proud of that habit. What he didn't know was that 1 cup of tomato sauce can contain 900 to over 1,000 milligrams of potassium, and his homemade version made from paste pushed even higher. Within weeks, his blood tests showed rising potassium levels. He felt tired, lightheaded, short of breath. An ECG later confirmed what his body had been trying to say quietly. His heart rhythm was being affected. Here's the science behind why this matters. Healthy kidneys tightly regulate potassium, keeping blood levels between 3.5 and 5.0 mmol. When kidney function slows, even slightly excess potassium builds up. That buildup interferes with the electrical signals that control your heartbeat. At first, it feels like fatigue or muscle weakness. Then suddenly, it can turn into dangerous arrhythmias. That's why doctors call high potassium a silent cardiac threat. You often don't feel it until it's almost too late. The solution isn't to ban tomatoes forever. It's to respect concentration. Smaller portions, 1 or 2 tablespoons of sauce instead of a bowlful, using fresh diced tomatoes instead of paste, and leaning on herbs like basil or oregano for flavor can dramatically reduce the burden on your kidneys. When Robert made those changes, his potassium normalized, his energy returned, and his labs stabilized. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next vegetable on our list doesn't hide in a jar or a sauce. It shows up whole, comforting, and familiar on dinner plates across the country. And its potassium load can overwhelm the kidneys even faster, especially when you least expect it. If concentrated tomato products are the hidden danger in jars and bottles, then the next threat is even more deceptive because it looks warm, familiar, and comforting on the plate: potatoes and sweet potatoes. They're served at family dinners, holidays, and healthy meals across America, often praised as clean, natural, and filling. But for weakened kidneys, that comfort food can quietly become an overload that hits faster than most people realize. I think of Linda, a 64-year-old grandmother who believed she was doing everything right. She cut sugar, avoided processed foods, and filled her plate with vegetables. One Thanksgiving evening, she had mashed potatoes, roasted sweet potatoes, and baked potatoes all in one meal. Within hours, she felt weak, nauseous, and dizzy. By the time she reached the emergency room, her potassium levels were dangerously high, and her heart rhythm was unstable. The doctors called it acute hyperkalemia, and they told her she was lucky it was caught in time. Here's the science most people never hear. One medium baked potato can contain 900 to 1,000 milligrams of potassium. Sweet potatoes can deliver even more often, over 1,000 milligrams per cup. For someone with reduced kidney function, the recommended daily potassium intake is often 2,000 milligrams or less. That means a single serving can quietly push you past your entire safe limit. When kidneys can't clear potassium fast enough, it builds up in the bloodstream, interfering with the electrical signals that control your heart, much like static, overwhelming a radio signal until it cuts out completely. There is a smarter way to reduce the risk, but it requires intention. Techniques like leaching, peeling, cutting, soaking potatoes in water for several hours, then boiling them in fresh water can remove up to 60 to 70% of potassium. Portion size matters even more. Small servings, about a quarter cup, and never combining multiple potato dishes in the same meal can make a real difference. That's how Linda regained control: smaller portions, better preparation, and swapping half her plate for lower potassium vegetables. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next vegetable on our list is often celebrated as a performance booster and detox hero. And when consumed the wrong way, it can injure the kidneys from the inside out in a way that shocks even the healthiest eaters. If potatoes overload the kidneys through sheer volume, then the next vegetable is far more dangerous because it disguises itself as a health upgrade: beets, especially beet juice and beet powders. They're praised on fitness blogs, sold as performance boosters, and blended into detox smoothies with promises of better blood flow and lower blood pressure. And for the heart, that can be true. But for the kidneys, beets can quietly turn toxic when consumed the wrong way. I remember David, a 48-year-old fitness enthusiast who thought beet juice was his secret weapon. Every morning before workouts, he drank a large glass of freshly juiced beets. Within weeks, his endurance improved. His pumps felt stronger, and he felt unstoppable. Then the warning signs appeared: dull, lower back pain, extreme fatigue, cloudy urine. His labs revealed severe kidney inflammation, and imaging showed crystal deposits clogging his kidneys. The diagnosis shocked him: acute oxalate nephropathy, triggered by excessive beet intake. His doctor's advice was blunt: stop beet juice immediately or risk permanent damage. Here's the science behind what went wrong. Beets are loaded with potassium and oxalates. A single glass of beet juice can contain 450 to 600 milligrams of potassium, and beet powders can push that number even higher. More importantly, beets contain up to 150 milligrams of oxalates per 100 grams. When juiced or powdered, those oxalates become highly concentrated. Inside the body, oxalates bind with calcium to form sharp, microscopic crystals that lodge in kidney tissue, triggering inflammation, blockages, and sudden drops in filtration. Medical journals have documented real cases of kidney injury occurring after just a few weeks of daily beet smoothies. The solution isn't panic, it's precision. Whole beets, in small portions, eaten occasionally, and paired with calcium-rich foods like yogurt or cheese, can reduce oxalate absorption in the gut. But beet juice, beet shots, and powdered supplements are a hard no for anyone with reduced kidney function, elevated creatinine, or a history of stones. What looks like a detox can quickly become a direct assault on your kidneys. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next vegetable on our list doesn't just injure the kidneys. Slowly, it can overwhelm them shockingly fast, even after just 1 or 2 servings. And most people have no idea it's one of the most dangerous plants for kidney health. If beets can injure the kidneys quietly over weeks, then the next vegetable on this list is far more dangerous, because it can strike suddenly and violently: rhubarb. It looks harmless, even nostalgic bright red stalks baked into pies, jams, and desserts that remind people of spring and family gatherings. But for your kidneys, rhubarb is not comfort food. It is one of the most oxalate-dense plants you can eat. I want you to remember Sarah, a 56-year-old school teacher who loved baking. One weekend, she attended several family events in a row, each featuring her famous rhubarb crisp. By Monday morning, she was doubled over with pain, nauseous, barely urinating. In the emergency room, her lab showed a sudden crash in kidney function. Imaging revealed her nephrons clogged with microscopic crystals. The diagnosis was devastating: acute oxalate nephropathy. Her kidneys were failing in real time. Sarah spent weeks on temporary dialysis before her kidneys slowly recovered, and her doctor gave her one permanent rule: never eat rhubarb again. Here's why this happened so fast. Rhubarb contains extremely high levels of oxalates, often over 1,000 milligrams per cup, far exceeding what sensitive kidneys can safely handle in an entire day. Once absorbed, oxalates bind to calcium and form sharp needle-like crystals that scratch and block the kidney's filtration system. Unlike potassium overload, which builds gradually, oxalate flooding can overwhelm the kidneys in a single episode. And cooking doesn't save you. Baking or boiling rhubarb does not destroy oxalates, it can actually concentrate them per bite. The safest strategy is simple and firm. If you have chronic kidney disease, high creatinine, a history of stones, or reduced kidney function, rhubarb is not a sometimes food, it's a red flag. Safer alternatives like berries, apples, or cranberries offer the same tart flavor without the oxalate bomb. When it comes to rhubarb, moderation isn't protection, avoidance is. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next vegetable looks green, clean, and virtuous, yet it delivers a dangerous double hit to the kidneys that most people never see coming, especially when they believe they're eating healthier than ever. If rhubarb is the sudden shock to the kidneys, then spinach is the slow, silent assassin, especially when it's blended, juiced, or consumed daily in the name of clean eating. Spinach wears a health halo. It's low-calorie, nutrient-dense, and praised everywhere from wellness blogs to baby food labels. But what almost no one tells you is that for vulnerable kidneys, spinach can quietly cause damage day after day without making a sound. I think about Jennifer, a 34-year-old yoga instructor who believed she was doing everything right. Every morning for 6 weeks, she drank a green smoothie packed with raw spinach. She felt energized at first: clear skin, better focus, a lighter body. Then the fatigue crept in. A dull ache settled into her lower back. Nausea followed. When she finally got checked, her labs showed kidney inflammation, and imaging revealed oxalate crystals lodged in her kidneys. The diagnosis was terrifying: acute oxalate nephropathy. Her kidneys were inflamed, clogged, and struggling to filter. She narrowly avoided temporary dialysis. Here's the science that explains why this happens. Spinach is one of the highest oxalate foods in the entire plant kingdom. Just 100 grams of raw spinach can contain around 170 milligrams of oxalates, far more than most kidneys can safely process in a day. Now consider what happens in a smoothie. You're not eating one serving, you're drinking the equivalent of 3 to 4 cups in minutes. That can mean well over 1,000 milligrams of oxalates flooding your system at once. Oxalates bind with calcium, forming sharp microscopic crystals that lodge in kidney tubules, triggering inflammation, blockages, stones, and rapid drops in filtration rate. Cooking spinach reduces oxalates slightly, but not nearly enough to make large or frequent portions safe for at-risk kidneys. The real solution is rotation and restraint. Swap spinach for lower oxalate greens like lettuce, cabbage, or zucchini. If you love smoothies, build them around cucumber, parsley, or berries instead. Jennifer recovered once spinach was removed from her daily routine, and her doctor told her something simple that stuck: your kidneys don't need more superfoods, they need less stress. But only knowing this is not enough, because once we step away from the vegetables that silently destroy kidney function, we need to talk about the ones that do the opposite. The vegetables that actually protect, support, and help your kidneys recover when you choose them wisely. After hearing about vegetables that quietly destroy kidney function, it's easy to feel afraid of food altogether. But this is where the story shifts, because not all vegetables are enemies. Some are quiet healers, and one of the safest, most powerful examples is cauliflower. It doesn't look impressive, it isn't trendy, but for the kidneys, cauliflower is like a soft landing after years of strain. I think of Margaret, a 67-year-old woman who came into my clinic exhausted and discouraged. Her creatinine was creeping up, her potassium was unstable, and she was terrified of dialysis. She loved mashed potatoes, but had been told to avoid them. We didn't take comfort food away, we replaced it. We swapped her nightly potatoes for creamy mashed cauliflower seasoned with garlic and olive oil. Within weeks, her swelling improved. Her labs stabilized, And she said something I hear often but never take lightly. For the first time in years, I don't feel heavy after I eat. Here's why cauliflower works so well. 1 cup of cooked cauliflower contains only about 80 to 90 milligrams of potassium, extremely low compared to potatoes or spinach. It's also low in phosphorus and almost free of oxalates, meaning it doesn't burden the kidneys with minerals they struggle to filter. On top of that, cauliflower belongs to the cruciferous family and contains compounds like sulforaphane, which help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 major drivers of kidney damage. Instead of forcing the kidneys to work harder, cauliflower gives them room to breathe. The beauty of cauliflower is how versatile it is. You can mash it, roast it, rice it, or blend it into soups. It absorbs flavor beautifully without needing salt-heavy sauces. Every time you choose cauliflower over a high-potassium side, you're sending a clear message to your kidneys. Slow down, recover, you're safe here. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next vegetable doesn't just protect the kidneys quietly. It adds color, antioxidants, and powerful vascular support, helping both your kidneys and your heart at the same time, and most people are still using it the wrong way. After the gentle healing power of cauliflower, let's bring some color back to the plate, because the next vegetable doesn't just help your kidneys survive, it helps them function better alongside your heart and blood vessels. Red bell peppers. Most people think of peppers as simple flavor boosters, but red bell peppers are one of the most kidney-friendly vegetables you can eat when chosen correctly. I remember George, a 61-year-old man with stage 3 kidney disease and long-standing high blood pressure. He loved tomato sauce and ketchup, believing they were harmless. When we replaced those sauces with roasted red bell peppers, blended into soups, sliced into meals, or lightly sautéed, something unexpected happened. His potassium stabilized, his blood pressure dropped by nearly 10 points, and he told me, "Doctor, I feel lighter after meals now, not weighed down." That feeling wasn't in his head. His labs confirmed it. Here's the science that makes red bell peppers special. 1 cup of chopped red bell pepper contains only about 250 milligrams of potassium, far lower than tomatoes, spinach, or potatoes. Yet it delivers more than 150% of the daily recommended intake of vitamin C, along with beta-carotene flavonoids and lycopene. These antioxidants reduce oxidative stress and inflammation, 2 silent processes that slowly damage kidney tissue and blood vessels. Healthier blood vessels mean better kidney perfusion and less strain on filtration. Red bell peppers also solve a problem many kidney patients face: flavor without salt. They add sweetness, depth, and color to food without relying on sodium-heavy sauces. You can eat them raw, roasted, stuffed, or blended, and every serving supports your kidneys without pushing them harder. They prove that a kidney-friendly diet doesn't have to feel restrictive or bland. It can still feel vibrant and satisfying. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next ingredient on our list is small, humble, and often overlooked, yet it has the power to lower blood pressure, calm inflammation, and protect kidney filters at the cellular level when used the right way. After the brightness and freshness of red bell peppers, let's talk about something much smaller, much quieter, but incredibly powerful when it comes to kidney protection: garlic. Garlic isn't just a flavoring. For thousands of years, it's been used as medicine long before modern science could explain why. And today, we finally understand what ancient healers already knew. I think of Patricia, a 60-year-old woman with stage 3 chronic kidney disease, whose biggest struggle wasn't potassium, but blood pressure and inflammation. Despite medication, her numbers stayed stubbornly high. She began adding crushed fresh garlic to her meals every day, letting it sit for a few minutes before cooking. Over the next 3 months, her blood pressure dropped steadily, her inflammation markers improved, and her kidney labs stopped worsening. Nothing else changed. The food did the work. Here's the science behind garlic's power. When you crush or chop garlic, it releases a compound called allicin. Allicin acts as a natural anti-inflammatory antioxidant and mild vasodilator. It helps relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and reduce oxidative stress, 3 factors that directly reduce strain on the kidneys. Multiple studies have shown that regular garlic intake can lower systolic blood pressure by 8 to 15 points, which is critical because high blood pressure is one of the fastest ways kidney function declines. Garlic also solves another hidden problem in kidney diet: sodium. When food tastes bland, people reach for salt. Garlic adds depth and richness without sodium, helping protect both blood pressure and kidney filters at the same time. Whether added to soups, vegetables, or sautéed dishes, garlic quietly supports the kidneys without demanding extra work from them. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next vegetable doesn't just reduce damage coming in, it actually teaches your cells how to defend themselves, strengthening your kidneys from the inside out in a way very few foods can. After garlic calms inflammation and blood pressure, the next vegetable does something even more remarkable. It helps your body turn on its own defense system. That vegetable is cabbage. It's inexpensive, often overlooked, and rarely celebrated as a superfood. Yet for kidney health, cabbage is one of the most reliable allies you can put on your plate. I think about Michael, a 63-year-old man dealing with early kidney decline and chronic inflammation. He wasn't eating junk food. He was trying to eat better, but his labs kept creeping in the wrong direction. Instead of drastic changes, we made one simple adjustment, adding steamed or lightly sautéed cabbage to his meals a few times a week. Nothing extreme. Within a few months, his inflammation markers dropped, his energy improved, and his kidney function stabilized. He looked at me and said, "I didn't expect something this simple to make a difference." Here's why cabbage works so quietly and effectively. Cabbage is naturally low in potassium, phosphorus, sodium, and oxalates, which means it feeds the body without stressing the kidneys. But its real power comes from compounds like sulforaphane, which activate a cellular pathway called NRF2. Think of NRF2 as your internal repair switch. When it's turned on, your cells produce more antioxidants and detox enzymes, helping neutralize damage before it reaches the kidneys. Instead of forcing the kidneys to filter harder, cabbage helps reduce the toxic load upstream. Cabbage is also rich in fiber, which supports gut elimination. When waste is cleared efficiently through the digestive system, the kidneys don't have to work overtime. You can eat it raw in slaw, steamed in soups, or lightly sautéed with garlic and olive oil. However you prepare it, cabbage delivers steady, gentle support without surprises. But only knowing this is not enough, because the final vegetable on our list is the one most people can eat every single day, without fear, a quiet daily protector that keeps the kidneys hydrated, supported, and under far less strain when everything else on the plate feels uncertain. After cabbage teaches your cells how to defend themselves, the final vegetable on this list plays a different but equally important role. It becomes the safe ground, the food you can return to again and again when everything else feels uncertain. That vegetable is zucchini. It's quiet, light, and rarely celebrated, yet for kidney health, zucchini is one of the most dependable daily protectors you can eat. I think of Elena, a 58-year-old woman with fluctuating creatinine levels, who felt anxious every time she planned a meal. She kept asking, "What can I eat without hurting my kidneys?" When we built her dinners around zucchini, steamed, sautéed, added to soups, or spiralized instead of pasta, something changed. Her bloating eased, her labs stabilized, and most importantly, her fear around food disappeared. She told me, for the first time, eating feels safe again. Here's why zucchini works so well. 1 cup of cooked zucchini contains very low potassium, roughly 150 to 170 milligrams, almost no oxalates, and a high water content. That combination means hydration without overload, nourishment without pressure. Zucchini supports digestion, helps regulate fluid balance, and reduces the workload placed on kidney filters. Think of it like switching from heavy traffic to an open road. The kidneys can move waste through smoothly instead of fighting congestion. Zucchini is also incredibly flexible. It absorbs flavor without needing salt-heavy sauces. It pairs well with garlic, olive oil, herbs, or proteins, making it ideal for everyday meals, especially dinner when kidney filtration naturally slows. While other vegetables require caution, zucchini offers consistency, and for weakened kidneys, consistency is safety. But only knowing this is not enough, because understanding which vegetables harm and which ones heal is just the beginning. What truly determines your kidney future is how you put all of this together day after day, and that's exactly what we need to talk about next. If you've stayed with me until this moment, I want you to know something important. You are not too late. Kidney damage doesn't happen overnight, and healing doesn't require perfection. What truly matters is awareness and small, consistent choices made day after day. You don't have to change everything at once. Start with one smarter swap, one safer vegetable, one less burden placed on your kidneys tonight. That alone is already a powerful step forward. Before you go, do your future self a favor. Save this video so you can come back to it whenever you're unsure about what belongs on your plate. And subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because every week I share clear, science-based medical insights that most people never hear: simple food choices, early warning signs, and practical habits that help protect your kidneys before serious damage occurs. This isn't about trends or fear. It's about giving you the knowledge to stay in control of your health. And here's the message I want you to carry with you. Your kidneys may be silent, but they are always listening. Every meal, every habit, every small decision sends them a signal. Choose relief over overload. Choose consistency over extremes. When you do, you give your body the chance to stabilize, recover, and stay strong for years to come. I'm Dr. Johnny, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll uncover the daily habits that can quietly save your kidneys or silently sabotage them starting first thing in the morning.